Hi everyone, it's Nicolas Dorier. So I'm making a small screencast to explain you what I was working on recently. As some of you know, BitPay seems to uh, not support Bitcoin anymore and support B2X. So it lets me wonder. So personally, it was a problem as I advise lots of customers to use BitPay for their own services, and this customer don't want a B2X and want to stay on Bitcoin. So I need to find a way to not make them redevelop anything they have already done while still being able to continue making business on Bitcoin. So I decided to open source and create this project that is called BTCPay server. So as I said, the goal is really to allow you to migrate uh, from BitPay to BTCPay without the need of redeveloping anything. I try to reproduce their API faithfully. So of course, I will be very happy if you can try it and give me some feedback about that, because they might have some corner case I didn't. So this is an open source server. So basically, what I'm showing you here, you can fork it and host it on your own. On my side, I will not try to make a business out of it. I just try that I want other people to use it and make business with it. So let's get started. So first, there is a GitHub page where you can follow some of the stuff I documented. So here I show you BTCPay, the server testnet Azure website. It's a free instance of BTCPay server running on testnets that you can use for your internal testing, and I use myself for my testing. So like if it's broken, don't panic. You know, it's a it's a way for me to test easily. If you want to join a bit, you can go on the Slack. So there's kind of lots of people going there, and I will directly help you to debug if there is any bugs in my code or support new use case. You can also go on the GitHub link that is here. There is a donation address, so this took some of my time. The design is also made by my girlfriend. So if I can treat her some sushi, I will be very happy to. So let's get started. So imagine that my goal is as a merchant to replace BitPay by BTCPay. So basically you will register a new account. So the account doesn't really matter. Okay, so this is created. So in BTCPay server, once you have a user, you need to create a store. So one user can manage multiple stores, and then when you create an invoice, basically it goes to one of these stores. So this is different from BitPay, where BitPay like one account equal to one store. So I will just create my awesome store. Okay. So once I created it, I go to settings. And so you can see one important information in my store is that I can specify what we call a derivation scheme. So the derivation scheme is basically where the money goes when you get paid. Okay. So the way to know that in Beacon World is to use a XPub key, and I support several kind of XPub keys. So if you have a multi-sig, you can use that, but right now I don't think there is any wallet supporting it. So I created a wallet on Electrum, okay? And so in wallets, master pub key, you can have this pub key here. So if you're using Ledger or Trezor, you get access to this master pub key. So you can reuse that and just follow what I'm doing. So I copy that. So once you are copied, you can verify. So you see that there is several address type, right? In the case of Electrum, it's xpub legacy. If you do xpub, it's using new batch 32 addresses that are not really widely supported. If you are using, for example, a Ledger or yeah, if you are using Ledger, it's also this one. If you are using Ledger Segwit, you will need this one. So in my case, I need this one here, legacy. So, okay, I can check. So if you click on check, you see it generates the addresses that you know about. So you can see that the address my wallet is proposing is MWD2D something. Okay, so you have to verify if it's not in the page. So it is in the page. So right, I right here I put the right derivation scheme. So I save that. Okay. So when you are created your store, you can just start creating invoice to the UI. So right here there is an invoice. So for 150 USD, I don't support yet multiple currency. It will come soon. So I create the invoice. So now you can just click on checkout to proceed to the checkout page. So as you see, the buyer will be able to put his own mail address if he wants a refund. And I will just pay to this address directly. Uh, so imagine I'm the buyer, I want to pay this invoice. Not replaceable. So it's broadcasting now. It should show up soon here. Okay, so my invoice just got paid. So imagine that you want to see what's going on. So you can see all your invoice here. Okay, you have a way of searching every information of your invoice in this area. So like imagine that the customer give you an invoice ID, you can just search by invoice ID. You can see the detail. So like in the detail of the invoice, you can see interesting stuff, like for example, the deposit address for this invoice. So as you can see, this invoice has been confirmed. So confirmed is mean that it's not confirmed in the blockchain, but it means that the payment is considered clear by the merchant. So the merchant will ship the product. You can configure that in the settings of your store if you want more uh, more strict policies. So yeah, you can see that the transaction has been sent. I don't know if it appear again here on test on SmartBit. Sometimes SmartBit take a while to show it. I don't really know why. Yes, actually it's showing. So it's showing here. So the transaction is in the blockchain. No problem with it. Then So this all works well if you want to do a invoice manually, but most likely you are doing it programmatically for your own project. So in this case, then you need to go in your store settings, access token. For those of you who are familiar with the Bitpay API, uh, this is secured by a signature of your HTTP request to the API. So you have to create what we call a token that represents your rights. So the token asks you for the public key that you will use to authenticate yourself. And that's about it. So like, let's create an access token. So API, I would say. So there's two ways. There's server initiated what BitPay calls server initiated pairing or client initiated pairing. Right now, I will do a client initiated pairing because I already know my public key. So my pub key, I generated one just before. So is this one request pairing? Okay, so this pub key, uh, this represents the pub key. This pub key is asking me permission about to access this store, so it's okay. So now, if I if I have the private key of this public key, then I can start using the BitPay API to connect to it. So I will show a quick example, not very hard. Do I have a project nearby I can use for that? I can hijack it. Yeah, okay, we'll do it here. Okay, so for example, here I'm using the BitPay client in C# to access my service. So you can use that, or you can use whatever API they developed. So uh, I tested on Ruby thanks to Max from the DigiLab team. It works fine. I tested also with the C# API of BitPay. It works. The C# client library. It works fine. So you can. There is also a PHP library. So do as you want. So in my case, I have my private key. That is this one. So encoders.text.code. Okay. So then I can create the BitPay client, so new BitPay. So it has my key and the environment. So my environment is this address. So if you are using BitPay, here you replace with the BitPay address. Okay, it's the only change that you have to do. And here I can start messing around. So like invoice, create invoice. So I can create a new invoice. I'm not exactly sure exactly what are the needed fields. So I will just copy paste another thing I was doing here. Normally, I said that it's only supporting USD, but actually I think you can use other currencies. It will still work, but not in the UI. It doesn't show it. So yeah, I create a new invoice, for example, of 15 USD of I don't know, awesome stuff. So whatever you are doing. So if I run this code, ideally what we will see is that we just created an invoice uh, in my store. Okay, so now it passed here. Okay, so it seems to have worked. Let's see how it goes. So now I need to go in. Yeah, I need to go in new invoice. So here you can see my new invoice here that has been properly done. Okay, so that's about all I wanted to show you for now. So if you want to host it by yourself or play with it, actually I will probably make another podcast to show you, but I made quite substantial documentation about it. So if you know Docker works, I created a Docker Compose file, so you can easily bootstrap it with one command line and play with it. If you want to develop on it, you also have to run a Docker Compose that is in the test project here. But I think I will make a separate uh, video for that. So thanks for listening, and I hope you will like it, and I hope you will come on the Slack and try to use it and try to migrate and reuse it to report me some bugs that you might found. So I plan to release it for production before the hard fork, and yeah, I'm waiting for your feedback. Thanks you.